Sometimes the most powerful way to win is to not even play the game. And if you've ever dealt with a narcissist, especially a man, you already know their game is exhausting. They pull you in, they push you away, they make you question yourself, your worth, your reality. And honestly, if you're listening to this, I'm guessing you're tired. But here's the thing, destroying a narcissist doesn't have to mean a screaming match, dramatic confrontations, or proving them wrong in front of everyone. You can break them without even lifting your voice, without losing your cool, without stepping into their battlefield. And today, I'm going to tell you exactly how. So, let's start here. Have you ever noticed how much a narcissist thrives on your reaction? That's their oxygen. Your anger, your tears, your desperate, "Please just understand me." Yeah, that's their fuel. They need you to play their game so they can win. But when you stop reacting, when you pull back emotionally, it's like cutting off their supply line. They start to suffocate, not physically, obviously, but in that little ego-driven world they live in. So, step 1, silence. Not the passive-aggressive, "I'm ignoring you to make you chase me" silence. I mean, the kind of silence where you genuinely stop engaging. You don't explain, you don't defend, you don't justify. Why? Because narcissists twist everything you say. You give them a sentence, they turn it into a weapon. You explain your feelings, they'll call you too emotional. You bring up facts, they'll say you're overthinking. And then, suddenly, you're the problem. So stop giving them material to work with. Starve them of your words. Now, here's where it gets fun. While you're pulling back, you also start rebuilding you. Because let's be honest, being around a narcissist can drain you dry. They chip away at your confidence little by little. They make you feel like you're not enough, unless they say so. So while they're over there wondering why you're not chasing them, you're over here, leveling up. You're reconnecting with friends. You're diving into hobbies. You're glowing from the inside out. And you don't post about it for them to see. You live it. The real power is in them hearing about it secondhand. Picture this. He's sitting there, scrolling through social media, looking for signs you're miserable without him. And instead, he hears from a friend that you've been out, laughing, thriving, no sad quotes, no cryptic stories, just you, living. That's torture for a narcissist. Because the story in their head is that you can't function without them, that you need their approval, their attention, their crumbs of affection. And when that story starts to fall apart, their ego cracks. Here's another thing. They hate not knowing what's going on with you. So don't overshare. If you still have to see this person, maybe you work together, maybe you share kids, keep every interaction short, neutral, and boring. Gray rock, no sparkle, no emotional fireworks, just flat. Think about it. When you're a gray rock, you're basically saying, "I'm not giving you anything to feed off of." And narcissists? They'll either get bored and move on, or they'll spiral trying to get a reaction. Either way, you win. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Won't he just come back harder? Won't he try to provoke me more? Yes, at first, because he's used to you playing along. So when you stop, it's like you change the rules without telling him. But here's the beautiful part. Eventually, even the most persistent narcissist runs out of energy when they're not getting the payoff. It's like trying to light a fire with wet wood. It just won't burn. And here's the secret weapon that really makes this work. Self-control. Because trust me, he will test you. He will poke. He will try to trigger old wounds. He might even pretend to be sweet again, just to pull you back in. That's called hoovering, like a vacuum. They try to suck you back into their world by pretending to have changed. But you don't fall for it. You see it for what it is, a performance. And you stay steady. Think of it like this. If you were watching a magician perform the same trick for the 10th time, you wouldn't be impressed anymore. Same thing here. Once you see the pattern, the illusion loses its power. Now, I want you to imagine something. Picture him walking into a room where you are. He expects the old version of you. The one who looked for his approval, who reacted to every jab, who tried to prove herself. But instead, you're calm, confident, unbothered. You're talking to other people, laughing, living your life. You don't glare at him. You don't try to make him jealous. You simply don't give him the starring role anymore. He's background noise. That's how you destroy a narcissist, by making them irrelevant. Because here's the truth. They're not scared of confrontation. They love it. Confrontation is their stage. It gives them an audience, a chance to twist the story, to play the victim or the hero, depending on what makes them look better. But when you take away the stage, they've got nowhere to perform. And this is where you reclaim your power, not by shouting louder, but by choosing silence over chaos, by choosing peace over proving your point, by letting them stew in their own drama, without you in the scene. Now, I'm not saying this is easy, because the temptation to call them out, to make them admit what they did, to get that closure, it's strong. But here's the thing, with a narcissist, you'll never get the kind of closure you want. They're not wired to give it. The only closure you can count on is the one you give yourself. And I know that can be frustrating. It feels unfair, but that's also why this method works. You stop trying to change them, and you start changing how you respond. Let me ask you this. What happens to a fire when there's no oxygen? It goes out. Same with a narcissist. Take away the emotional oxygen, and eventually they burn out. Now, here's one last little twist. They'll probably tell people you're cold, selfish, or crazy for pulling away. That's fine. Let them, because the people who truly know you, they'll see the truth. And the people who believe him without asking your side, they were never in your corner anyway. So, you keep your circle tight. You keep your energy protected. And you keep building a life so full, so rich, so yours, that he becomes just a footnote in your story. That's the ultimate revenge. Not screaming, not proving him wrong. Just living so well that his opinion, his presence, means nothing. And you know what's wild? When you stop giving him power, he loses it. Because his power was never real. It was just the power you gave him by reacting, by caring, by trying to fix him. Once you take that back, game over. So if you're dealing with a narcissist right now, remember this. You don't have to fight to win. You win by walking away emotionally. You win by thriving in silence. You win by making him irrelevant. And when that happens, you'll realize he didn't just lose. He destroyed himself.